Hello there and welcome. This is Bob Proctor, and I have a real interesting interview all lined up for you here. You're going to love this. You know, for the last 50-some years, I have been traveling all over the world, helping people understand how to take control of their life and really begin living the life they want to live. Unfortunately, most people don't live that way. And I think one of the great problems is our educational system. We don't learn enough about ourselves. You can go to the best schools in the world, and they do not teach you how to earn money. Now, you'll hear a lot of people say, well, money's not important. That's usually a defense mechanism a person puts up that hasn't got any money. Money is vitally important in the area that it's used. Can't be substituted by anything else. It's a very important subject. Well, I'm going to talk to a lady today, Liz Herrera, who earns a lot of money. And you know, I have earned a lot of money. I had a man introduce me to a concept way back in 1961, and like that, my life started to change. I had no formal education, a couple of months high school. I had no business experience. And you know, that didn't seem to matter. I was raised with the idea if you're going to earn a lot of money, you've got to be really smart. Well, that's not necessarily true. I was earning a lot of money, and I knew I wasn't very smart. And as you listen to Liz, I think she is very smart, but you don't have to be to earn the money that you're going to earn. And you listen to Liz and find out what she's doing, because she's earning hundreds of thousands of dollars every month. Now, most people, that would be great in a lifetime, but she's doing it every month. Now, if you think, well, I couldn't really do that, I'll tell you something I've learned over 50 years. If you see somebody else doing it and you really want to do it, then you can do it. All you have to do is follow direction. You have to learn how. They will teach you how to do it. Liz, I want to welcome you on the call.
Thank you very much, Bob. I'm really happy to be here.
Liz, the more I heard about you, the more fascinated I was with your story and what you do. And before we even start, I want to congratulate you and thank you for sharing the information you've got with our listener. And the listener could be anywhere in the world watching this.
Thank you. Yeah, I really, truly believe in sharing things with others, because I feel like when you do share things with others, not only do opportunities open up for you, but you sort of get it back somehow tenfold. So I truly love to help others and do things like that.
Do you know, Ralph Waldo Emerson called the law of cause and effect the law of laws. What you put out does come back. You can't give too much. That's just the way it works. And I learned that a long time ago. So I spend my whole life trying to show people how to do some of the things I've done. I live a wonderful life. And I would imagine you're living a very interesting life, Liz.
It is quite interesting, but yet I am very humble. I like to keep it, you know, just down. I'm down to earth. I still live in the same house that it's a $140,000 house in a very small border town, and I try to just keep it real. You know, that's the best way to be, is just humble and help people out.
You know, it's funny you mention that. I've lived in the same house for 35 years. I'll probably die in this house. I have no desire to move. See, I believe money's used for two things. One, to make you comfortable, and number two, to extend the good you do far beyond your own presence. I couldn't be more comfortable in a huge palatial mansion than I am in this house. So I understand exactly what you're saying. You got to remember what it's all about. Tell me what this is all about. Apparently, Mike Long is putting on a webinar. I'm going to be doing a webinar with him myself, but he does these webinars, and he's got some pretty valuable information, Liz. Tell me about it.
Right. Well, it sort of started out where I sort of had a lot of success doing something else, and then just unfortunately it all came crashing down, and I was sort of like almost hit rock bottom, to be quite honest with you. And that same thing happened to several people that are in my network of friends and things. So it's kind of like you're at rock bottom and you really don't have anybody to ask for help, because everybody's in that same situation. So what wound up happening is I needed to find a real business and fast, and so I came across selling stuff on Amazon. and that's where things just started to take off. And it wasn't really always exactly as easy as people see it now. You know, people think, wow, you're just very talented or something like that, but that's not the case. I actually struggled for a while. I followed other methods that people taught me and told me were the easy way to make money, but those methods didn't actually work. So my first two products didn't work out so well. So I was literally at rock bottom trying to hold up a couple mortgages and support a family. And it was around that time that I just decided, you know, I'm still going to give it a go. I've failed twice with two products, but I'm going to try things, and this time I'm going to do things a little bit differently. So that's when I started to do things the way that I sort of thought they might work out well, and I started to have a great deal of success. And from there, I started to slowly build an awesome system, and it just was sort of like amazing how much it took off using the power of Amazon's actual traffic. So that's about really all I can say about it. It was just sort of a whirlwind of success.
And that's what Mike teaches, isn't it?
Absolutely. We have a really good network of people, and we are all pretty successful and really cooperative. A lot of people that like to motivate and educate one another, and we kind of push each other to become successful. And when I met Mike Long, I met him at a seminar, and he was just the most humble and amazing kind of guy. And I had a 2-minute chat with him, and I thought that 2-minute chat it was so awesome to see a guy that was that successful yet so just humbled. I mean, that's really all I can say about him. So we got to talking for about 2 minutes, and in those 2 minutes, he sort of motivated the heck out of me. I mean, he told me some amazing things just in those 2 minutes that motivated me to take it a step further. And I stood there, and there was like a mob of people, and I stood there and listened to some of the other tactics he kind of shared with people, and from that, it gave me an idea, and I used that idea to literally catapult my products to some of the top products on Amazon. So that's kind of where I met Mike Long and how that happened.
Well, you know, I have been working ever since The Secret hit the street all over the world. Now, I had been in the business for 40-some years when The Secret came out, but The Secret sort of catapulted me into parts of the world that I had never been. And I have found that people are essentially the same everywhere. They're looking for an opportunity. But I'll tell you something else I've learned, Liz. People will look at you doing as well as you're doing now. You're into some real serious money, and I have found that they think you're different.
Right.
What do you have to say to that?
Well, I can say that I'm really no different from anybody else. I mean, I'm doing this business out of my home, literally out of my garage. I've got 2 dogs running around. In fact, one of them is barking in the background. You know, I have everyday life things that actually happen. And so the main thing that I have to say to people is that if you take it from me, I'm from a border town. Really was born into a very low-income family. English is my second language, and I really don't have any special talents. Although you did say I was a bit smart, I sometimes have trouble adding and subtracting. I mean, I really need a calculator most of the time. So the one thing that I do differently than what most other people do is that I just stop listening to anybody that gives like negativity into my life. So if somebody tells me I can't do something, I just shut that off. I don't want to listen to it. I don't really care what they think. I set my mind to do something, and I surround myself with other people that know and believe in me and then believe in themselves, and we just continually educate one another and network with one another. And that's really the only difference between me and anybody else. I'm pretty much an ordinary gal, just doing extraordinary things. That's one of the best things that you always say to me, Bob, and I just love that saying. I'm going to start using that.
Well, I learned a long time ago that if you want to learn something, go to somebody that knows. A young man sent me a text here about a month ago, and he says, "Who do you trust?" And I sent him one back, and I said, "You trust everybody, but only listen to the ones who are getting the results that you want to get." And I run into a lot of people, Liz, because it's my business, who really want to make things happen. They want to get involved in the internet. They want to get involved in e-commerce. They love the idea of working from home without a large staff, without all the trappings that goes with a conventional business. And I want to talk to those people. And I want to recommend that they get involved with yourself, with Mike Long. When they hear about Mike Long's program, get involved. Go to the webinar. listen to what Mike has to say, because I think this is one of the most phenomenal things that I have watched or learned about in a long, long time. I've got to know Mike. He is a very humble man. He is a very nice guy. And I have enjoyed talking with you. I've enjoyed getting to know you, Liz. And I want to recommend, strongly recommend, that when you hear about a webinar that Mike or Liz are putting on, go to it, pay attention to it, and get involved in this. But then do exactly what they tell you until you get the results going for yourself. Then if you want to wander off and do something else, fine. But I have learned, do exactly what the person's telling you, and you'll get the same results they're getting. Because success is not out of the reach of everyone. High incomes are here. Anybody can get them, but you've got to follow the rules. Liz, I want to thank you very much for taking the time and letting me come on and ask you a couple of questions. And I've got to congratulate you. You are doing phenomenal. And you've been doing phenomenal for quite a long time now. So you deserve a lot of credit. You're a nice lady. You help a lot of people. You do a good job, and you're getting rewarded for it.
Thank you, Bob.
And you're listening to my voice. You're watching this interview. When you hear about Mike Long or Liz Herrera, if you get an opportunity to hear what they say, go ahead. Get on there. I do webinars with Mike because I want this word out. I want everybody to understand it because anybody can do it. So Liz, thank you very much. It's been a real pleasure.
Thank you.